Now, if you're a business leader and you're thinking about getting a AI agency to help you with digital transformation, I just want to highlight the risks and the opportunities. This is not about slowing you down. It's just about making sure that you've got the right process in place. So I've been managing IT systems now for 25 years. So I think I'm pretty well placed to look at digital transformation and make sure what you're doing makes business sense, because I'm seeing lots of companies now that are launching and they're providing AI agency services to do business transformation to automate systems. The problem is they don't have a lot of experience of either software development or project management or cybersecurity. Not in all cases, but I want to make sure that you are asking the right questions. So I'm just going to highlight some of the things that I've come across. Obviously, it's new tech, so this isn't all doom and gloom. This is a positive thing, but I want to make sure that you've got the right checks and measures in place. First of all, let's look at budget. Now, a lot of these tools aren't particularly expensive to launch something in a prototype stage. So if you've think about in the past, if you want to get business software developed, it was a huge amount of work. Now you just ask AI and it will create something that sort of works. And this is the 99% problem. Getting problems almost solved that work some of the time is pretty easy. It doesn't require, the barrier to entry is very low. Getting it to work reliably and consistently is much, much harder. So I very, very strongly recommend you do not spend a lot of money, and I've already had 2 clients do this, buying a solution that you think will solve a big business problem because it's using AI. Putting AI in front of something, the same as putting cloud in front of something, does not make it better per se. There are plenty of companies out there in your industry that have created tools that have spent thousands and thousands of man hours to create. And these tools will probably do a better job in a lot of cases. The second thing, and this is the big risk with AI, is around prompt injection and around edge cases. So when you're developing software, and I'm not a software developer, I'm a sysadmin, it's very, very difficult to find every possible way that some system might break. And the risk with this is, and I've got a video on this because I was playing with what's called vibe coded, if you're not familiar with that, where you just don't bother doing any software development, you just ask AI to do it all for you, which is fine, as I say, but there are risks. So I've got an example where I asked it to create some logs of this website system, and it made them all publicly accessible. Okay, it's not a problem in itself because the data there isn't particularly risky. However, you could easily find yourself having a GDPR breach. And I've seen several cases now where people have created a solution, it looks very nice, but there's absolutely no security in place. I've also recently been working on a couple of cases where an IT provider has told me they take security very seriously, and I found blatantly open, obvious security issues. So just because they have all these certifications does not mean they know what they're doing. Again, this is not like a negative naysay, blah, 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 but you do need somebody with experience of software development to make sure that you're doing the right stuff. Now, when it comes back to automating processes, this is going to be brilliant. This is going to save us so much time, but you do need to have somebody, your AI evangelist, in charge of this. Don't let your team, we're going to call this shadow AI. Don't let your team just randomly do stuff without any oversight. So your AI evangelist, your technical team will work with them. They don't need to be technical, but to ask the right questions. And this is really important because in an age of AI, we are going to see some really serious security breaches. And if you think that you've spent a lot of time setting up your business, saving money, cutting costs is great, but that kills your business because you have a security breach, that wasn't very sensible. And we're going to see this happen quite a lot. So what I want to say to you really is, make sure that the people that you're working with, if you're buying in AI coded software, have got a lot of experience of managing digital transformation. And that doesn't mean that like younger people in their 20s are not perfectly capable of doing this stuff. The problem is that if it's not got that oversight of somebody that can recognize the risks, you can easily put yourself in a seriously dangerous position. And I'm seeing lots of companies where they're really not very technically savvy. In medical, dentists are a particularly good example of this. Construction companies where they don't understand the risks to the business. They just want it to work. And all I'm saying to you is, whoa, just make sure that you've got the processes in place to keep your data secure, and it's not just lip service. So I hope that makes sense. This is it's not meant to be negative or anti-change or whatever. The point here is that these procedures and processes need to be in place. Things like prompt engineering aren't particularly very well understood, and it's very easy for somebody to create something that looks great on the surface, but underneath is a nightmare waiting to destroy your business. Hope that makes sense. Have a great day.